What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to more Black Desert. So today I have a very special topic that I wanted to talk about, and with the new region coming out for NA, EU, and other servers right around the corner, a lot of people have been asking me, is BDO easy to learn, and is it a good time to start now? So what I wanted to talk to you guys about as a veteran player myself is like all the stuff you could do in BDO, and all of you who are also veteran players can give your opinions and everything as well. So things I just wanted to go over is that BDO is not your traditional MMO, as in BDO is a sandbox MMO compared to, you know, like other games I play, like Final Fantasy, ESO, World of Warcraft, those kind of ones. So in those kind of games, basically the goal is get to max level, do the highest dungeons and raids, and then get the best gear, and then come back when the next expansion comes out. Whereas this game is like a slow grind and a sandbox, as in you can do whatever you want. There's no right or wrong progression path. And so ultimately, the things that they share in common with every other MMO or just RPG game in general is your goal of progression and how you go about doing it in terms of like gear or just goals in general. So what I wanted to do was tell you what this game is about, and give you a quick overview of everything you can do, or most of the things that I think are relevant anyway. So let me like dispel some like confusion that some people might have. And the biggest thing that I've heard is BDO a very grindy game? And the answer is actually tougher to answer than it's just a yes or no, because yes, it could be if you make it out to be that way, or no, if you are like a casual player and you only play 1 to 2 hours a day, you can also do that. So yes, there are like grind spots and, you know, running in circles, going in for the special loot and make money per hour. That's just like something that a lot of MMOs have. So yes, there is that. But one thing I think that BDO does right that other MMOs don't, or well, not really right, but just different, is they have a lot of variety in terms of life skills. So like here's what they have so far, and I think they're going to add some more in the future. I have no idea. So, you know, usually in other games when they have like gathering, you're just, you know, gathering for no reason or just very little minimal effort ones. Now this one, there's actually a reason to do a lot of these life skills, and there's a whole like connection to it. So for example, gathering materials, there's 6 different life skill tools that all do different things, and you collect different materials, right? And then you use those to you either cook them, you turn those materials into like alchemy to make them into potions, whatever. You can process them and build and craft gear yourself. So it's a large, complex system that BDO has, and all of it surprisingly works well together. And like for all of you who want to try this game and aren't like super interested in the whole grinding aspect of just running in circles for hours, yeah, there's actually a lot of things you can do here that I think are very like also time consuming, but also it feels rewarding when you do it. Because in other games it's just like, oh, we can pick a flower, do this quest, and then go back to doing like the main goal, right? If you wanted to, you could actually do these full time and then like your primary activity while playing in the game, and they all really work well together. So I think it's awesome that they did it in a way where it connects with each other. And so another thing that I don't think is really talked about much is the whole sailing and bartering thing. So obviously a lot of games have various ocean content. Most of it is kind of like either non-existent or not that well done. So I think that unironically, if you try to push sailing as an actual full-time thing and that's what you enjoy doing, you actually do spend a lot of time in the ocean, almost comparable to like how much time you'd spend on land. So what you would do is like, if, let's say you want to build your boat, that is probably one of the primary goals of being a sailor, just getting the best boat, getting the best gear, and then just traveling, grinding out in the ocean, and the new region coming out soon, TM, right around the corner. So yeah, I think the BDO like ocean content is also very good. It's very time consuming as well because there's like daily activities and all that stuff. So yeah, it's something to check out. A lot of these are very traditional, like you've probably seen them, but it's more complex than just do this for a quest and then repeat the next day. So yeah, that was a little bit of grinding and life skilling. Obviously in this game, grind spots are very important. They're probably one of the best money in the game in a way for your average player. And so they have a thing where you can basically, this is all the regions and all the grind spots in the game. I think it's awesome because it tells you like what drops here, the gear score recommendations and all that stuff. So there is some sort of progression goal in the game. So you could try something new as well and just look at this, for example. And yeah, your goal is get better gear, do higher end activities that you enjoy doing, whether it's grinding, life skilling, and PvPing, which let's talk about PvP. I have a lot of good and questionable things to say about this, and it's more like there's a lot of classes in this game. Usually when you think of a game that doesn't really have too many classes and they're more balanced, I've always had the stance in MMOs where I would say less classes but more balanced ones. And I think overall that I still follow that, but then this game just has a lot of them, like over what, 18, 20 classes or something like that. And so with more classes means it's harder to balance them. That just how it goes. And so in BDO, I actually do enjoy the PvP. I think it's one of the best combat systems I've ever like encountered in a lot of MMOs. However, after playing it for a while, you realize that obviously some classes are on the higher end of the scale. Some classes definitely need a buff. And as a person who's been playing this game for 7 years now, I guess, I've definitely been on or played characters that were at the bottom and then they got buffed to the top and now they're like just okay. So I've seen it all. And that's how I feel. I think the way Pearl Abyss is going is they just like having more classes, whether or not it's actually balanced. I think it's what makes money for them as a company. So that's one thing you should keep in mind when going into this game. And if you are a new player, I always like to help people out with this game. And I always say, like, if you don't know what you want to play, because there's like 20 classes, definitely just tell me what your play style is. And I could help you narrow it down and point you in the right direction. So, for example, if you like playing a more tanky class, or you like playing a range DPS, or a caster, melee DPS, or just tell me about your play style and I can help point you more in the right direction. So yeah, there's a lot of things to do for PvP as well. There's obviously open world where your gear score matters. There's gear capped PvP, Arena of Solar, there's like seasons for that. Red Battlefield where there's like objective mode game PvP, and then like Node Wars and stuff where it's like guild versus guild and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of different game modes. Are some of them really balanced? Not really. Some classes just do better, and cap is just the way it is. But overall, I think there's a lot of things to do for your average player, whether you're a PvEer, PvPer, or life skiller. And then they also have the thing, which usually when you think of this, you don't think of it in real MMOs, like seasonals. When you think of it, you probably thought of like Diablo or Path of Exile, those kind of games, ARPGs, where you just make a character, boost it to the max level, get best gear, or repeat. Now, the way it works for BDO is like you make a new character on the seasonal, right? And then, so for example, I have one as well, and you get like the best gear or like seasonal gear, and then after, it doesn't get deleted. What you do with it is you graduate it, right? And then you still keep the character. So if you enjoy playing the class, you can still play it after season, and then you convert all your like end game gear into like actual boss gear, and then that's where you do the enhancing, which is a whole nother topic that we'll talk about in another video. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff to do. Is BDO easy to learn? I think it's actually easy to learn but hard to master, as in like you can start playing the game right now and you'll probably have a good time, but once you try to get into like learning everything and a lot of the details for like processing, gathering, like when we talked about life skillings, there's like literally hundreds if not thousands of random recipes that you can make in this game. And even to this day, I don't know all of them, to the point where there's like a wiki. You could even look it up in game. It's just like crafting notes. You can just like look up basically everything to make. And that's not even all of them. And just like, there's a lot of stuff. So yeah, hopefully you found something that you think might interest you in this game, whether you're a PvEer, PvPer, life skiller, or you're just like a casual player and you only do the seasons and then you want to experience the game and the story. That's cool too. There's a lot of things. So I think that BDO is actually one of the best looking games I've played. I'm not just saying that. I've seen like really like good looking games, some kind of average looking games that are just like and like cartoonish, but I think this one actually unironically looks the most realistic in terms of environment, which I think is very nice. So people always say that graphics don't matter in video games, and I do agree to an extent, but I also do like if a game looks good. That is just the way it is. So I think BDO is one of those that you should consider looking into. And easy to learn, hard to master. Is it a good time to start playing the game? I think so. Like, worst comes to worst, like you play it now and then you either don't like it or you do, and then maybe you'll come back whenever a new season starts, try it out again. But I wanted to make this video overall just to like tell you what it's about. Obviously that was just like a very baseline. There's a lot more details I can go into, and if you guys have any specific questions on anything, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer them. But overall, there's just a lot to do in this game, and one thing I would say not to do is compare yourself to other people. Now, what I mean by that is competition is always good in video games. Like when I started this game, I started with one of my friends. Our goal was to see who could get the best gear faster. We can grind with each other, do PvP and everything. But when it comes to sandbox games, it's a little bit different. Everyone works at their own pace, and in this game, there's a bit of RNG involved in whether you're like making your gear yourself, buying it, or everything. So the luck aspect, it gets pretty steep at the higher ends, to the point where like one upgrade could set you back like a few weeks, if not months and stuff. So that's the best tip I can give you. Play the game at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to other people. You're gonna burn yourself out. Trust me when I say that. And yeah, just overall have fun. At the end of the day, it's just a video game. So yeah, with everything said, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully if you have any questions with anything, feel free to let me know. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you guys come back. I've been playing this game for 7 years, since the beta and when it came out on NA and EU. So back in the day, I didn't have any guides to help me. I had to figure all this myself. And so I like to share my knowledge of the game with you guys, and hopefully help you guys become a better player as well. So with that said, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Peace.